Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Morning Podcast. So, let's first begin with how Indian markets closed in last week. So, the domestic equity market ended flat with Nifty and Sensex gaining 0.2% and 0.3% respectively, that is on a week on week basis. The broader markets also closed in line with the benchmarks as Nifty Mid Cap 100 was up by 0.1% and Nifty Small Cap 100 was up by 0.2%. Now, the global cues last week were mostly mixed. So, the domestic market mostly focused on the cues like MSP hike, monsoon progress, bulk and block deals, which kept market largely sector and stock specific last week. Meanwhile, investors also continued to evaluate the recent US economic data and commentary from Fed officials to determine the timing of interest rate cuts this year. If we take a look on the top gainers of NSE, then Bharti Airtel, LTI Mindtree, Hindalco, Shriram Finance, Tata Steel, Infosys, Adani Ports and TCS were the top gainers on Friday's session, while top losers on NSE were Ultratech Cement, Adani Enterprise, L&T, Nestle India, Tata Motors, Tata Consumer, HUL, BPCL and few list of other companies as well. Taking a look into the sectoral performance on BSE on Friday, then BSE Telecommunication, IT and Consumer Durables as well as BSE Power and Metal indices closed on a positive side. With the gains mostly led by BSE Technology and IT sectors, as BSE Telecommunication Index was up by 0.4% and BSE IT Index was up by 0.7%. While the top losers on BSE on Friday were BSE Oil and Gas, which was down by 1.3%, BSE FMCG, which was down by 1.1%, and BSE Energy, which was down by 1%. Apart from this, indices like capital goods, realty, auto, industrials and healthcare also closed on the negative note. Now the overall market breadth on BSE was mostly in favor of declines as there were about 2,086 stocks that declined and against them 1,784 stocks advanced. About 197 stocks made 52-week highs, which included names like Axis Bank, Bajaj Consumer Care, Bharat Forge, Dixon, Federal Bank, Jindal Steel and Power, Polycab, etc. And 9 stocks made 52-week lows. On the fund flow side, the FIS net sold rupees 1,790 crores, while DIS net bought 1,237 crores in cash market on Friday. If we look into the global cues for today, so US market closed mixed on Friday, while Dow gained 15.6 points, that is 0.04%. S&P 500 and Nasdaq lost 0.2% each, dragged by the decline in the shares of Nvidia. On the data front, both flash services PMI and manufacturing PMI increased above expectations to 55.1 and 51.7 respectively for the June month so far. Asian markets are currently trading on a mixed note, so that indicates mostly a flat start for Indian market going ahead in today's session. Now moving into the stocks which are in focus. So first one is Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. The lender has lowered its fiscal 2025 loan growth guidance by 500 basis points as it sees stress building up in some of the pockets of its business. So that will be marginally negative for Ujjivan Small Finance Bank in short term. The board of Prestige Estates Projects has approved raising up to 5,000 crores via QIP, so that will be positive in short term for Prestige Estates Projects. IREDA has successfully raised 1,500 crore rupees through the issuance of bonds last week, so positive for the company. SP Apparels has completed the acquisition of Young Brand Apparel for 167 crore rupees, so positive for SP Apparels in medium to long term. Sterlite Technologies is also in focus as the pre-trial mediation with US-based Prysmian Cables has remained unsuccessful. The case against the company, which was filed by Prysmian Cables, is to commence trial on 23rd of July. So this will remain as a negative overhang for the company in short term. Apart from this, Cipla is also in Cipla is also in focus due to two news. The first one is BlackRock has raised its stake in the company to over 5%, and US FDA inspection at its manufacturing facility in Goa has ended with 6 observations. So that will be slightly negative for Cipla in short term. TVS Motor has signed a pact with CSC Grameen e-stores for a commercial vehicle range. So neutral to positive for TVS Motor in short term. Garden Reach Shipbuilders has received an order for construction of 4 multi-purpose cargo ships from a German company. The consideration for the order is $54 million, that is or about 450 crore rupees. So positive for Garden Reach shipbuilders in short to medium term. RVNL has emerged as L1, that is lowest bidder for 192 crore rail electrification order from Southeastern Railway. So positive for RVNL. Lupin has received establishment inspection report from US FDA for its Somerset manufacturing facility. So positive for the company. Avenue Supermarts, that is DMart, has opened a new store in Gopalapatnam, that is in Vishakhapatnam. The total number of stores as on date now stands at 370. So that's neutral to positive for Avenue Supermarts in short term. AGS Transact is also in focus as CRISIL rating has revised its long-term rating to CRISIL A from CRISIL A+, which is on the back of a decline in revenue and delay in collection of receivables. So this will be neutral for AGS Transact in short term. Hilton Metal Forgings has launched wagon axles for railway wagons, so positive for the company. Now taking a look into some of the corporate actions and the bulk and block deals. So first one is IndiaMart Intermesh, where there is Westbridge Crossover Fund has sold 7.3 lakh shares, that is 1.19% of the stake at rupees 2,601 per share. And against them, SBI Mutual Fund has bought 5.4 lakh shares, which is 0.88%. And Morgan Stanley Asia Singapore PT has bought 1.9 lakh shares, which is 0.31% at rupees 2,601 per share. Also, looking at the bulk deals data, then Morgan Stanley and Company International PLC has bought 1.7 crore shares, that is 0.55% stake in Axis Bank at rupees 1,225.8 per share. In IdeaForge, Celesta Capital Mauritius has sold 3.57 lakh shares, which is 0.85% of the stake at rupees 785 per share. In Polymedicure, Lighthouse India, 3 equity investors have sold 22.76 lakh shares, which is 2.37% of the stake at rupees 1,950 per share. In Gravita India, Oxbow Master Fund has bought 14 lakh shares, which is 2.02% of the stake at rupees 1,365 per share. While Rajat Agarwal has sold 14 lakh shares, which is 2.02% at rupees 1,365 per share. Also in DCX Systems, NCBG Holdings INC has sold 12.96 lakh shares, which is 1.33% of the stake at rupees 355.1 per share. Now, taking a look into the insider trades, then in case of Gujarat Fluorochemicals, promoter Devansh Trademart LLP has sold 13.5 lakh shares on 21st June. In Gland Pharma, promoter Fosun Pharma Industrial PT has sold 99 lakh shares on 19 June. So these were the key market data points to track for today's trade. This was all about the Daily Morning Podcast. Thank you everyone for listening.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.